Hi, my name is Kayla Senior, and I am in the 10th grade, currently taking the class known as Research Media Studies 9607, and today I'm going to be recording my CCR. So the first question in my CCR is, how does my project use or challenge conventions? In one of my scenes, I use the library, right? And usually in the library, the rule is to stay quiet so other people can get their work done and have a quiet place overall to focus and concentrate on whatever they're doing. So the main characters in my film, Darian and Izel, had to whisper their dialogue, which makes sense because that's the rule of order. My second convention, which I don't know if it's a convention per se, but it's when in the third scene, my two main characters, as I said, Darian and Izel, they're now inside of a car, and in the scene, the key is in the ignition, and that means the car is running. But when Darian gets out, which is the one who's driving, he takes out the key out of the ignition, and the rule of thumb in real life is that you don't want your car to keep on running gas. So if you pull the key out of the ignition, you're saving money and gas. So the second question of my CCR is, how does my project represent social groups or issues? In my project, my project represents bullying in schools, as the main characters Darian and Izel and their former friend group bullied a girl named Althea, and she eventually self-slaughtered herself, sadly, which basically represents that not everybody gets along, and if you don't know the situation of the person, then you're kind of just judging them. The third question of my CCR is, how does my project engage with the audience, and how would it be distributed as a real media text? Okay, so the backstory of the bullied girl, it's not mentioned in the theme, but the backstory of it all is that Althea starts off with an abusive family, and as school starts, her peers bully her because she was talking behind people's back. And her peers didn't know her situation, the fact that she got abused and bullied at home. So they just continued to bully her, and she eventually committed. But her committing, she wanted to take revenge because of how much hatred she had. And if this movie was distributed for this class, I would distribute it for YouTube. But if it was like a longer film, I would distribute it in the movie theater. The third question is, how did my production skills develop throughout the film? So in the beginning of the year, I didn't really have much knowledge on cinematography, but as the year progressed, I, began to understand how miso and scene, camera shots, editing, and sound all played into factors of filming and how they create meaning to the film. Like for editing, I used a couple of passing transitions, panning up, panning down. Like I learned some technical names over the years and over the time in this class, and I incorporated them into my project. For my fourth question, I'm just double checking. For my fourth question, or is it fourth or fifth, not sure. How did I integrate technology into this project? So, for like 2 films in my scene, I was able to use the Canon EOS 90D, aka Alpha 2 is what we call it. It had a windshield microphone, basically a little cover to protect wind from blocking audio. And that camera had really good quality, and audio picked up very well. But some difficulties went on because other classmates were using Alpha 2, so I had to use my phone, made a couple sacrifices about the phone, records cinematically as well, which is the iPhone SE 2020, the one that I own. I used that and it worked pretty well. So that was my CCR. I hope you enjoyed. I tried my best not to stutter. But yeah,